program was recorded at the ARC Annual Industry Forum in Orlando, Florida. I'm pleased to welcome Editor-in-Chief of Supply Chain Brain, Russell Goodman.
Hello. Joining us for a conversation today about rethinking IT and automation solutions is Andy Chatha, President and CEO of ARC Advisory Group. Welcome, Andy.
Thank you, Russell.
Andy, I noticed that rethinking is the theme of the forum this year in Orlando. Tell us, what was the thinking, so to speak, behind that? Why did you choose that as your theme?
Russell, we thought it was a very appropriate theme for this year because most of us, we've been doing a lot of rethinking about how we do things, looking for better ways to do things. And particularly if you really take a look at it right now, what's happening in the IT marketplace, I really like that we are starting to see more and more what I call easy IT solutions. It all started with, websites, and then Google certainly, made finding information easy. Now with the cell phones, we have information on our fingertips, and you can actually keep on going. We have social networks, more and more of us are starting to use. So what we are seeing is actually we have all of these easy IT solutions, and when you take a look at it, they are not easy solutions. They are very, very complex solutions, but all the complexity is hidden from the user, from us. And unfortunately, right now, when you take a look at it, our companies, most of our companies, we don't have easy IT solutions. Our solutions are very complex. So right now, our message is to everybody is that we need to start simplifying our IT as well as automation solutions at our company. So we thought it was a very appropriate theme for this year.
I noticed at this year's forum, you've got 4 parallel programs also running. Explain to us, first of all, what are those 4 programs, and then what was the thinking behind that? Why do you have those? How did you plan those?
Right. We planned 4 programs for several reasons. The one of them is that when you take a look at the companies, unfortunately, companies, different departments, they don't, many of them don't speak with each other. They don't understand what others' needs are. They need to actually start collaborating more. For example, our first program is Rethinking Operational Excellence. So this is for our operations people. Second program is actually Rethinking Asset Lifecycle Management. So there is a lot happening because asset lifecycle management is typically more managed by the engineering people and maintenance people. And the third program is Rethinking Cybersecurity. There also we are starting to see that we have an increasing number of security threats against systems. And our fourth program is performance-based outsourcing. Our supply chain logistics team has put together a very good program for supply chain logistics executives. It's more about how you manage relationships with your logistics partners.
Andy, let's back up for just a moment and explore those programs that you just mentioned a little bit more in depth. Operations, management strategies. Tell us, why should companies rethink that?
Yeah. Companies certainly have been implementing, lean programs and Six Sigma programs for a long time. But I think right now we need to take those programs another higher level. We today have much better, much more actually modern IT solutions. It really encompasses 3 programs. Number one, companies need a very collaborative type of IT platform. Where actually all applications and all the people involved in operations management can use this platform. Second is that now we have in fact some newer applications, manufacturing intelligence, for example, applications that companies need to start thinking about deploying. And lastly is actually the platform, the whole production management or collaborative operations management platform. It needs to actually communicate the other departments internally within a company as well as outside parties.
Let's walk through asset management strategies now, rethinking that. Tell us about that program.
Asset management, Russell, is a big problem for companies, and in fact, actually, it's such a big issue that I have been talking about for the last 2 decades. The reason being, it's a very, very complex problem. There are so many different people involved. When you look at a plant or a factory, there are so many different pieces of equipment involved. All of them have a lot of information related to them. Managing this enormous amount of information has been a challenge for companies. Now, we think right now is the right time for us to start rethinking asset management solutions, because now we have what I call easy IT solutions. Now companies can implement collaborative platform fairly inexpensively. Now companies can actually implement a very extensive asset information management systems fairly inexpensively. Now we have the IT tools that companies really can achieve. They can actually implement these systems much easier than before.
Rethinking cybersecurity strategies. What's that program about, Andy?
You know, Russell, at the forum, we had a government DHS person speak, and according to him, you know, security threats are increasing. Our country, our companies, our systems are getting more and more cybersecurity threats. And his advice to everybody was that we need to start really building security in all products from ground up.
The fourth program, I understand, is performance-based outsourcing. What is that about?
Well, our logistics team, in fact, has come up with a very good program. It's how you manage your relationships with a logistics partner. Rather than in the past, companies have been managing relationships more based on task-based. But now it's more based on actually what you do, you know, based on actually what you can save the customer and so forth. And I believe that that's a very good program for supply chain logistics executives.
Andy, final question. What key messages would you like to see attendees at this year's forum take away?
There are 2. In my view, collaboration is extremely important. Companies need to start creating collaborative culture. They got to have a very sound collaborative platform. And number 2 is actually having agility. You know, if you have good IT automation solutions, then you have achieve this flexibility and agility. In my view, collaboration and agility are the seeds for achieving breakthrough performance.
Excellent. Thank you, Andy, for being with us today. Valuable information.
Thank you, Russell.
It was Andy Chatha, ARC Advisory Group, speaking with us today about rethinking IT and automation solutions. Thank you for watching.